Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay. In the last class, we have seen that how a signal become periodic and how to calculate the fundamental period for real signal as well as the sinusoidal signals. Today we'll check energy and power of a signal. Energy of a signal defined as Ex can be calculated by the formula n equal to minus infinity to infinity of summation xn mod square, where xn is your input given sequence and power of the same signal can be calculated by using limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 summation of n equal to minus capital N to capital N and mod of xn square. So simply this is the two formula all of you know already. Using these two formula you can calculate the energy and the power of a signal. Now depending on the result of these two formula you can decide whether the signal is energy signal or power signal or none of it. So the condition is that to be an energy signal, to be an energy signal, the energy that you are calculating must be finite. And along with the power will be 0. Okay. So if you calculate the energy and power of a signal, you will get some values. You will get some values, and depending on that values, you will check whether the energy is finite or not, and power is zero or not. If these two conditions are satisfied, then this signal is called the energy signal. Similarly, opposite of that will be the power signal. Means in that case, energy will be infinite and power will be finite. Then this is power signal. Okay. So depending on these two conditions, you have two values. Suppose xn, for an example, half to the power n un. This is energy signal or power signal. So simply you will calculate the energy and power of that xn and you will get some result. And if you do that, Ex, the formula is summation of n equal to minus infinity to infinity mod of x square. Now, value is given half to the power n un. So un is your step signal. So obviously for the values minus infinity to minus 1, all values will be 0. So we will neglect that values and only we will consider the values from 0 to infinity. So the formula will become n equal to 0 to infinity xn square. Okay. So simply summation of n equal to 0 to infinity xn is equal to half to the power n. So xn square will be 1 by 4 whole to the power n. Okay, so 1 by 4 whole to the power n. So simply that is summation of 0 to infinity a to the power n. The formula all of you know that 1 by 1 minus a. Here a is 1 by 4. Summation n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power n. Should know this type of formula. So that is your formula. Obviously keep in mind n must vary from 0 to infinity. Within a finite range, that formula will be changed. Only that formula is applicable for n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power n. Then 1 So from here you are getting 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. That is, I think if you do calculation, 4 by 3 something will come like that. That is a finite value. So Ex you are getting finite. Means the energy of the signal you are getting finite. What should be the power of the signal? Ex, simply limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1. Again summation of n equal to 0 to infinity, it will be as un you have. So n equal to 0 to infinity 1 by 4 whole to the power n. Sorry, formula is not 0 to infinity, it's minus n to n. Just check it. It is minus capital N to capital N. So it will be minus capital N to capital N. Okay. So for this case, whenever you are using that un, so minus n to minus 1, again will be 0. So this summation you can write from 0 to capital N, or other values will be 0. So simply that minus n will become 0 for this un. So you don't need to write the un now. So that is will be your equation for the power. So that value will be what? For this case, there is formula n equal to 0 to a finite range. An, the formula will be 1 minus a to the power n plus 1 by 1 minus a. That is your formula. Keep in mind, for a infinite range n equal to 0 to infinity, you are getting 1 by 1 minus a, and for a finite range n equal to 0 to n, you are getting that formula. Okay, I think clear to all of you. So depending on that formula, simply if you do the calculation, limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1, 1 minus 1 by 4 whole to the power n plus 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4. What will be that value? We simply put the value of infinite, so it will be infinite by infinite. Sorry, it will be 1 by 4 to the power infinite. What should be the value? 1 by 4 to the power infinite. What should be the value?
0.
Tends to 0. So some finite value by infinite, some finite value by infinite, so you will get 0. Okay, so power you are getting 0. So for this case, energy is finite, power is 0. So what should be the signal?
Energy signal.
Energy signal. That is, so this is the process. Whatever the equation you have to solve it to calculate the Ex and Px, and that Ex and Px will define whether the signal is energy or power signal. Okay. Try it. Time में join করে না কেন এটা? Just try it at your home. Xn equal to cos pi by 4n. Xn equal to a. Xn equal to un. Xn equal to r to the power rn or nun. Xn equal to delta n. Xn equal to simply small n for 0 less than equal to n less than equal to 5. So try this type of example at your home, whether these are energy signal or power signal, you need to calculate. Okay. For this problem, in some cases, you will see that infinite a cosine function. Okay, cosine function of some values. Now, if that type of case comes, then it will be infinite, because it is proved, or you can separately you can check it, that cosine value, angle of cosine value, it varies from a range minus infinite to infinite, then summation of that cosine value will be infinite. That is one case. And if we consider the finite range, then that value will be 0. Reason is that for a finite range, that sequence you are getting is a periodic sequence. Cosine functions that you are getting a periodic sequence. So for a finite range, you are trying to calculate the values for a periodic sequence. The value will be 0, and must be it varies from minus n to n. It's not minus m. If minus n1 to n2 to different value, then it will not be 0. If varies from same minus same value to plus same value, then cosine function of that value will be 0. These two portions are going to used here, whether to calculate the energy or power signal. Just keep in mind this and try that type of example. It will be more clear whether this is energy or power. Okay, clear? Or any question? Is that clear? Okay. Even odd. If xn is your sequence, then it will be even if xn is equal to x of minus n. If xn equal to x of minus n, then the sequence is even sequence. And opposite of that, that is if xn's become minus of x of minus n, then odd. Then if un is given as 1 for n greater than equal to 0, that is the step signal, and 0 for n less than 0, then what will be the even part and odd part of that signal? For that case, simply, if you want to calculate the even part or odd part of a signal, then even part of that signal will be provided as xn plus x of minus n by 2, and odd part of the signal. See, I am doing all this part in a faster way because already you have done those problems in your signal and system part. Okay, so I am not going in detail, just I am recapturing it. Okay, and this will be xn minus of x minus n by 2. These are the two equations to calculate the even part and odd part of a signal. So here one unit step is given, one unit step signal is given. You need to calculate the even part or odd part of the step signal. So for a unit step, suppose a signal varies like that from minus infinity, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to infinity. That range you have. Now, if we consider un, what should be the value of un? For 0, you will get 1. For 1, you will get 1. For 2, you will get 1. Up to positive infinite, you will get 1. And for up to negative infinite, all the values will be zeros. That is for un. It's a step signal, all of you know. So from un, you have to calculate u of minus n to calculate xen and xon, that is the even sequence and odd sequence. So simply, what will be u of minus n? Obviously, from minus infinity to 0, all the values will be your 1. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Up to that will be 1. And from 1 to positive infinity, all the values will be 0. Because n will be minus n, so obviously you will get the opposite value. Okay. So from here, what is the value of xen? Even sequence is this plus this by 2, xen, un plus un minus 1 by 2. So for a minus infinite range, what will be? 0 plus 1 by 2 is equal to half. 0 plus 1 by 2 is equal to half. 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 For 0th position, 1 by 1 by 2, it will be 1. Other all the values, you can check it, will be half. For minus infinite to infinite, you will get continuously value, but all the values will be half except the 0th position. The 0th position value will be 1. Okay, then tell me what will be the value of xon? Tell me.
So from negative infinity to minus 1 to minus 1.
Minus
minus 1. From
Minus
negative
1.
So minus infinity থেকে minus 1 পর্যন্ত minus half.
Yes.
Minus half.
Minus from minus infinity to minus 1, all the values you will get minus half. For 0th position,
0.
0.
and from 1 to plus infinity,
Half plus half.
Plus half.
all are plus half. Yes. So this is the odd part and even part of a step sequence. Okay. In that way you can calculate. Now from
Sir,
here,
u of n infinite মানে যেখান থেকে ওটা তো স্যার 1 হবে u of n এর লাইনটা
here infinite
স্যার সেকেন্ড লাইনটা দেখুন u of n
হ্যাঁ এইটা তো হ্যাঁ এটা আপ টু ইনফাইনাইট 1 হবে আমি ইনফাইনাইটেন্স পর্যন্ত 1 এটা শো করা মানে আপ টু ইনফাইনাইট 1 হবে all values will be 1. Okay. Now from here you can see one important characteristics, that is if we consider the event sequence, for event sequence 0th position value you will get always 1, and for odd sequence that value will always be 0. That is always true, keep in mind. If you are getting the 0th position value is non-zero or 1, then you can say this is not the event sequence. If you are getting 0, then the sequence will be the odd sequence. Okay, that is one important characteristics. So this is all from the basic of your signal and system. And next, I will come to the Z transform. Because before Z transform, if you have any question, now you can ask me. Because whatever the portion we have recaptured, all are going to be used in Z transform or in DFT, in fast Fourier transform, in filtering part. All the portion is going to use. So if you have any question, if you have any query, then you can ask me now. Clear to all of you?
So, sir. Hello?
Okay. Okay, then come to Z transform. So you did the Z transform na in your last semester?
Yes, sir. I was taking third semester.
Yes, in the third semester. So can you tell me actually what it is doing?
স্যার এটা তো ডিসক্রিট টাইম ফুরিয়ার ট্রান্সফরমেশনের একটা জেনারেশন।
Exactly. DTFT and Z transform both are equal at a certain condition that I will tell you. But before that, in your Z transform, you have a sequence xn. That sequence may be real, may be complex in the time domain, or you can say in the sample domain. Okay. From here, if you do the Z transform, you will get the value in a frequency domain, and that value will be complex. It will be complex because Z is itself a complex value, and its value is given by R e to the power j omega. That is the value of Z, and you are calculating xn in the term of Z, so obviously it is complex. So whatever the value xz you will get, that will be always complex, as well as it will be in the frequency domain range. Omega, that is your angular frequency. Omega is your angular frequency, so you will get the value in the frequency domain. Okay. Input may be real, may be complex, but output always be complex. Keep in mind that. And what is the importance of that? Means from the time domain, we are converting it into the frequency domain. Why? What is the importance of this? The importance of this is that when you are going to calculate or design a digital filter, the most important part is that you need to calculate the transfer function of the given sequence. If a sequence xn is given some value or some equation, then from there you need to calculate the transfer function first. Then that transfer function will decide or will design or will help to design the digital filter. That transfer function you can get from the Z transform. In your Z transform, simply suppose yn equal to function of xn is given. Yn equal to function of xn is given. Yn is your output, xn is your input. Suppose, then after Z transform you will get yz equal to xz hz. That type of expression you will get. Here hz is defined as the transfer function of the sequence, and the value of hz is obviously yz by xz. Okay, all of you know that transfer function basically output by input, or you can say the gain also. In analog, you have heard the term gain, that output by input, that is here defined as the transfer function. That is your output, that is your input. In Z domain, keep in mind, after Z transform, not in the time domain, not yn by xn. It will not give you the transfer function. To get the transfer function, you need to do the Z transform yz, and you will get xz. In the terms of xz, you will get yz, and from there you need to calculate the transfer function. So that transfer function will help to design the digital filter, and always our aim is to calculate or design a digital filter that will help for further operations like removing noise, like doing some other terms. When I'll come to the filter, I will explain in detail. But for this case, this is the importance of Z transform. You need to do the Z transform for this case. Clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if not clear, okay, just you will ask me. Otherwise, yeah, it will not be clear to me whether you are getting it or not, because it's a online class, so I'm not able to see the faces of yours. So you must question me. So that is the first point, that you can get the transfer function that will help to design the digital filter. Second point is that it will help to calculate the stability criteria of the signal. Means the signal is stable or not, that can be calculated by using the Z transform. Okay, how? I'll tell you. Point 3 is the mathematical calculations are reduced. Mathematical calculations are reduced. Just I am giving a simple example how it is reducing. When we will do the FFT, it will be more clear to you. But just for this case, how you are reducing, when you are converting in frequency domain, the time domain sequence into the frequency domain, what you are getting frequency values. Obviously, in your computer or digital system, whatever you will do, you will get it a matrix format. Always the value you will get as a matrix format. So whenever you are getting your value xn in the frequency domain, some values you will get which are related to frequencies. And suppose this is a matrix. Now whenever you will do the solution what you will do, a single row solution you will do for a single time. Means আরেকটু elaborate করছি আমি, যখন একটা সিম্পল ম্যাট্রিক্স থাকে ইন টাইম ডোমেন, সেই ম্যাট্রিক্সের সাপোজ মাল্টিপ্লিকেশন করিস, each and every value consider করিস at a certain time, this row multiplied by this column, this row multiplied by column, then you are getting the values. So you are considering all the values at a single calculation. But in frequency domain, you don't need to calculate all the values in a single calculation. For the first calculation, you will consider only the first row. For second calculation, you will only consider the second row. For each and every calculation, you will consider a single row. Means what? If this is your matrix, you are splitting that matrix into 4 different parts. So calculation is getting easy. Instead of calculating all the parts together, if you simply split it into 4 different parts and you are doing calculation in the 4 different parts at a single time, means calculation reducing. Okay, in that way mathematical calculations are reduced. In the FFT portion, it will be more clear to all of you. Okay. Next point is point number 4, that you can calculate discrete Fourier transform, simply Fourier transform, by using the Z transform. Okay, because Z transform is directly related to DFT or Fourier transform. So these are the importance of using the Z transform. So I think why do you use Z transform if the question comes? So I think you can provide the answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Keep in mind these two are most important point. One is the transfer function for digital filter, another one is the stability criteria. These are the results. Okay, and these 2 points, these are the solutions. Solutions means you can solve it easily by using that advantages. Okay. Okay. Now come to the basic of Z transform. Whenever you will calculate Z transform, one very important term will come in your mind or will come in consideration, that is the ROC, called the region of convergence. Region of convergence means you will have some region or you will have some area where all the values of Z will converge. Means all the value of Z can be calculated and you can get some result within that range. That is called the region of convergence, ROC. And that ROC you will get over the Z. you will get some value of xz like p of z, a function of z, and below function of z. These values defines zeros of pz. Means from the upper terms, you can calculate the zeros of pz, and from the lower terms, you can calculate the poles of pz. qz. How? One example I will provide you, it will be more clear. So you need to calculate the poles and zeros to calculate the z transform is very important. And how?
স্যার আরওসিটা আরেকবার একটু বুঝিয়ে বলবেন? ওই
Okay.
সার্কিটটা ঠিকই বুঝতে পারছি না।
Okay. ROC basically defines as the region of convergence. Okay. Means at which position of the z plane, if we consider the value of z, that value of z will converge. That is basically the region of convergence, and that you can calculate by using the z transform. How? See that example, that will be clear. Suppose you have a value xn equal to a to the power n un. Suppose you have that expression, that value of xn. So for that case, you need to calculate the region of convergence. Okay. So first, what you need to do, you need to calculate xz. That is the z transform of xn. So value of xz will be obviously from the formula summation of n equal to minus infinity to infinity xn z to the power minus n. The formula is
z by z minus n.
Oh, formula আমি তোদের বলিনি না, ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে। xn z to the power minus n. That is the formula to calculate the z transform of a value of xn. Here xn is a to the power n un. xn is a to the power n un. So here you have un. So obviously n will be 0 to infinite, and the value of xn will be un. Sorry, value of xn will be an multiplied by z to the power minus n. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So simply, if xn is a to the power n un, you are getting xz as summation of n equal to 0 to infinity a to the power n z to the power minus n, or simply summation of n equal to 0 to infinity a z to the power minus 1 whole to the power n. So from here what you are getting? The formula 1 by 1 minus a, where the value of a is az inverse. So simply 1 by 1 minus az inverse. That is the value of xz. Okay. Now to calculate the ROC, hello, नमस्कार। नहीं, इंटरेस्टेड नहीं है ना मैनेजर। Okay, so that is your xz value.